We just heard from Minneapolis Police about a deadly shooting that happened on Nicollet Mall earlier this evening. Police believe that the victim was a suspect in a fatal shooting in a downtown parking ramp this afternoon. And here's what they had to say.
Today, shortly after 2 o'clock, we had a shooting in Ramp A in which an adult male and an adult female had a disagreement with another adult male. One of the adult males pulled out a handgun and shot the other adult male, killing him. The shooter and the adult female fled the area on foot. Officers were able to put together a very quick description and were able to take the female into custody quickly in the area. Through investigation, we were able to identify who our suspect was in the shooting. We were able to locate the individual downtown, and shortly after 6 p.m., squads began to move in on our suspect. Our suspect was in the area of 8th and Nicollet, began to go down the road, appears to have seen officers approaching. He turned into a doorway of a building, produced a handgun, put it up underneath his chin. He then adjusted his stance and shot himself underneath the chin, closer to where it meets the neck. Officers immediately approached, slid the gun away from him, removed his backpack, and immediately began chest compressions. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. This video has been released to help quell rumors and hopefully thwart civil unrest. We are able to release the video in this instance. They are city cameras, and our officers were not involved in any deadly use of force. Had that been the case, we would have turned all of this over to the BCA and the film would not have been available. So, shortly after 6 p.m., our suspect in the ramp homicide from 10th and Curry today shot himself in the area of 8th and Nicollet, and he is deceased. Do I have any questions? Do you guys have any questions?
Is the investigation continuing into the domestic incident, or what is left to investigate with this?
We will absolutely investigate really what precipitated in that first shooting, and we will work on identifying what transpired between the first shooting and the second shooting.
Can you tell us about the body cameras and that process?
Absolutely. The body cameras were rolling on the officers that were engaged in this detail, and they will be subject to state law on release.
But releasing them tonight, that type of thing?
They will not be able to be released tonight. As I said, that the body-worn cameras are a different set of laws than just street cameras.
Were there a lot of witnesses?
Yes, there were. In fact, you'll see in the video, there are people very close by.
We see people running right before it happens. Is it we also know police were closing in on him.
Yes.
Perhaps guns are, do we know it looked as though maybe not everyone in that crowd knew exactly that he had maybe pulled out a gun. So I was just trying to understand what's going on.
You know, until we're able to actually get statements from those individuals, I don't know what in fact they felt or what they saw. You will see, or you have seen, and the rest of the folks will see in the video, that he came up and actually had his back to a number of people. They probably didn't know what was going, and it's likely our officers were approaching, telling him to drop the gun, which in fact may have led to the people, doing this motion. Again, there's no sound on the video. None of those cameras have sound, and so I can't answer that question with full impunity. Now, I will also tell you that all of this information that we have released is deemed to be correct and accurate as of this moment. As I said, the videos are very telling, but again, I want to make sure that people understand that this is information that we have. This is really literally within 90 minutes of it happening. So what we're putting out is what we believe to be completely true and accurate.
Did the officers who approached the suspect unholster their weapon?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Again, because of obstructions in the cameras, it's difficult to tell if those officers had unholstered.
Can you tell us anything about the suspect, his age? I know it's up to the ME to release the name and so forth.
I don't have that, but I will tell you, when I kick out my press release, I will put the decade in. I'll put his age in.
Okay.
Okay, that's not too identifying.
Any idea what this was about in the garage?
I don't. I'm sorry. Again, we have gone from one incident right into another one, and so I haven't been fully briefed on the first.
We're getting word that some people are beginning to loot the Target downtown. Do you have any knowledge or information about that at all?
Guys, I've been with you with my portable off. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to what's transpiring.
How are the concerns that people leaving police at the scene delayed throughout the leadership so quickly to try to dispel those rumors?
I don't understand what you just asked me. I'm sorry.
At the scene, people are saying that police.
Yes.
How did that work its way to the top of the city's leadership to try to dispel that?
I received a phone call from one of the sergeants that was on the scene, and I notified upward. I notified Chief Arredondo immediately and Mayor Jacob Fry, and explained that, what the thought process was and information that I'd received.
At what point does this get kicked up to the WCCO?
That will be up to the chief. Again, we did not use deadly force. In fact, we didn't use any force, really, with the exception of the presence and verbal commands. So I don't know that this will, in fact, go to another agency. Again, chief certainly has the right to send it up, but again, I don't believe that he will.
That was Minneapolis Police with an update on a deadly shooting that happened earlier tonight. Stay with CBSN Minnesota and watch our news at 10 for more on this developing story.